Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the Bog Warrior. In today's video I will show you the beginner's guide to the easiest and laziest build ever created in Diablo 4, the Ravens Druid Build. Despite being so easy to play, as the build requires only one button, don't let its simplicity deceive you. This build without any mythics can clear pit 100 easy, and with minimal effort, once you get your uniques and chaos armor, you can clear the pit 118 with no trouble. To make things easy, I divided this guide into 3 chapters. The first one, and the one you wish to begin with, is the Ancestral guide, where you don't need any mythics, just one unique, and the only requirement to make this build work, which is the new Kilt of Blackwing pants. If you're still looking for these pants, the easiest and fastest way to get it is by gambling with obols. Also, you can find the links to each build variant in the description. That being said, let's get to it. The Ancestral version, or the No-Mythics version as some players call it, will allow you to clear all content in Torment IV, including Belial, and clearing the pit 100 as I said with ease. For this build you need the following aspects: Spirit Bond in the helm, Juggernaut in the chest, Stampede in the gloves, Dire Wolves in the boots, Shepherds in the two-hand polearm weapon, Stormcrows in the amulet, Changeling's Death in the first ring, and Rampaging Werebeast in the second ring. The most important aspects to get are Shepherd and the Stormcrows. They can be acquired at dungeons, so you will need to farm for them in the open world. Since you're just getting started, your first chaos perk you will need to equip is Overabundance, followed by Alternating Alterations, Wild Transformations, and Savagery. I already made a video on how to get the unique chaos perks, so I will leave a link to that in the description. For the runes, you can start with the Hu and Loom. These runes will help you with the resource generation. Last but not least, Circe is great because it will add wolves to your companion count and will also help you crowd control enemies. For the skills, you can find them in detail at my planner, but basically you want to cast Claw, then Pulverize, and repeat this 2 more times every time you enter a zone. This is in order to gain and stack Quickshift levels. The maximum is 6, so once you see that number stop and then cast Grisly Rage, this will shapeshift you into a werewolf thanks to the Dire Wolves aspect, and from here you just need to spam Ravens everywhere. For this build, movement speed is very important, that is why I have it at the boots and the amulet, but it's up to you to keep it that way or get more armor and damage in the amulet. Speaking of armor, this build needs elixirs to reach the 1000 armor at Torment IV, so be sure to use them every time. For the mercenaries, I'm using Suvo because of his Seeker ability that is fantastic at farming, but I also use him at the pit to slow enemies and increase my critical strike damage. For the reinforcement, Variana with the Bloodthirst skill increases your attack speed for 7 seconds. This build should allow you to farm Paragon points. Once you get strong enough and you begin getting Resplendent Sparks, you can switch to the Mythics version. Here I created 2 variants, one for speed farming and another for pit pushing. They are almost identical. The only changes are at the boots, since you will be using the Banished Lord's Talisman, and the Purge, the Infected Chaos perk that replaces Alternating Alterations. I forgot to mention, but every time you are pit pushing, you want to switch from Alternating Alterations to Purge the Infected to get a lot of damage. For anything else you don't need it because it has a high spirit cost. Okay, so for the Mythics version we need 3 Mythics, the Air of Perdition, Shroud of False Death, and the Ring of Starless Skies. That means that the aspects we will keep are Stampede, Dire Wolves, Shepherds, Stormcrows, and Rampaging Werebeast. We will also be using better runes. For this version you will need to get Nagu Se and Igni Loom. For the pit pushing version, the Banished Lord's Talisman at the boots will allow you to constantly overpower as you spend your primary resource. This build should easily allow you to clear the pit 116 without perfect gear nor master working. I already made a video showcasing that power, and I will also leave a link to it if you're interested. Now for the final version, there is no need to get this far unless you are very serious about pit pushing. Here you will use 2 Chaos Armor and 2 Mythic Uniques. The change you are making is at the chest, where you will drop the Shroud of False Death and you will replace it with the Fists of Fate. Now before you go there, finding a good and specific Chaos Armor piece takes time, so be ready for some grinding at Bartok. However, assuming you get the Fist of Fate, you need to have the Greater Affix at Lucky Hit chance. In this example, you can see that I don't have it, so I'm using the basic version of the Fists of Fate, and that allow me to clear pit 180. So imagine, with the right gear and master working, you can easily go beyond 120. The other replacement that is needed is at the runes, where you will drop Igni and Loom and replace it with a Hu and Cax. This means that you will be spending all your resource constantly, so you need one more modification to get resource, and that is at the amulet. You need to remove resource cost reduction and replace it with Lucky Hit, chance to restore primary resource. That is why having the insane Lucky Hit chance at the Fist of Fate becomes so important. So there you have it. This guide, as I mentioned, is for beginners, and hopefully it can help you go from leveling up at the Torment levels all the way to dominating Torment 4 and the endgame. Please let me know what you think of this build in the comments. We reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far and found the video interesting or useful, please consider to share, like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.